In 1995 when I became head of ABP, तो था पेपर उस समय. Only thing I presented to the market was the magic behind the brand ABP, because it had got all the numbers, but nobody could believe that numbers could be true. So, we spoke about ABP, its role in Bengal, editorial, this thing like the example Basant was saying, and it had a tremendous effect on the marketplace. So, the important point that we are trying to conclude through this presentation from Basant is, while quantitative numbers are there, see, quantitative numbers are also there in the machine of the person. A media agency can present that. These type of qualitative inputs, when you blend correctly with the quantitative, it becomes the killing pitch. Like I have been very crudely saying, Basant, when I have done the program down the line, I say that we are number one means we understand our customers well. Otherwise, we could not have been number one in these 10 years, because these customers also have a choice of reading anything else.
We are doing something right.
Right, and therefore, these customers are your brand's customers. So, therefore, we know your customers well as well. So, we have been talking on these lines, which is a crude way of saying what we have been saying so far. All right, now I am into a jam, because I have to now demonstrate what I can do in terms of presentation in 45 minutes. We know, and this is what Basant was talking about, that what are we marketing? We are marketing access to our readers, who are our advertisers' customers. This is our basic fundamental belief. Now, who is our reader? We have data on demography, psychography, possessions. We need to tell him more about this guy's 24-hour life cycle. How is a student in Jharkhand may be different from a student in Bombay? Because that is what the brand advertiser sitting in Bombay does not know about Jharkhand or Uttar Pradesh. Then what about his family, his workplace, his belief, and everything that he does in society. These are the again the qualitative aspects of the market which we need to talk of. And I talk of 5 P's of marketing, there are 7 otherwise. I believe marketing is all about identifying a prospect, proposing to the prospect, persuading him to use our brand, and then make a progress with the prospect, and once he has bought, it is all about propagating success stories to embrace more people to accept your brand. For example, we showed car Audi manufacturer Audi ad to a premium school. What are we doing? We are propagating a success of Audi and trying to rub it off on the GD International Goenka School for influencing them. See, the important point is everybody does not know whether he needs us. A GD Goenka International School does not know whether advertising in Jagran will benefit him or not. Agreed? A Cox and Kings may not know what is the advantage. So, therefore, what we see in our and in the eyes and the ears, processing it for the benefit of the person is the key to our presentation. Another thing we must remember, whom we are presenting is a human being, and we never get a second chance to create the first impression. Are you agree with me? Do you agree that buying is a combination of emotion and rationale? We as consumers, we have both emotion as well as rationale behind a buying decision, and as a presenter, we have to appeal to both the senses. For example, the one which I was talking to Vikash about Mobilio, we are talking about the emotional part as well, and every buyer may have his own idiosyncrasies. If you know, if he has one, you must take care of it, and the crux of all this lies on SPA round 1, do we understand him and his needs, because everything will originate from here. And as we have seen, for me to sell, someone has to buy. Do you agree? In my presentation, am I helping him to buy Jagran? Is the fundamental question. If I were to receive this presentation, would I be motivated to buy Jagran? Is what you have to ask when you are preparing the presentation. And when you are helping him to buy your own media, I have taken that same slight tweaked bit. There is a communication objective, brand, target audience, 24-hour life cycle, industry sector, sub-sector characteristics, direct, indirect competition, media imperative grid, brand life cycle, priority of markets, relative strength, and the answer is my media and your reasons to buy. It is my media, Jagran, and your reasons to buy through statistics, testimonials and proposition. So, this is the crux of the preparation of the presentation, which if you have seen, I have taken a lot of it from part 1 of SPA. I want to introduce this concept called canvas, which is customer assessment of what is necessary, valuable, additional and superfluous. If I know what is necessary, what is valuable, you have to first meet these two criteria. For example, we are talking, let us say, to an advertiser who I want to convince for Delhi NCR. For him, it may be necessary for him to know Jagran is a very big brand with so many editions, but is it really valuable to him if his market is only NCR? So, therefore, how much time you spend on what is determined by this. You may like to talk of the largeness of the brand just to create an impression, but you will spend far greater time on what we can do with him in NCR, because that is what is relevant to him. Are we getting my point when we are talking of canvas? And all these things that we can do in terms of customer connect, creating databases are all additional benefits. Now, to a guy in Delhi NCR GD Goenka International School, how much we are talking in Siliguri may be a superficial data. So, we need to understand the canvas of the customer, and this will determine what is the emphasis that you are going to give during your presentation. You know, canvas is this thing where let us say Asian Paints small pack. Do you know Asian Paints realize that during Pongal in south, people will buy the highest quality paint to paint those two horns of the cow. Shekhar, am I right? And then they had a big pack, 1 liter. So, then people realized that there is a role for a 20 ml pack for those two. So, what do they want? They want the same quality, high quality paint, but in a small pack, because that 1 liter pack is superfluous. Look at Midday in its initial avatar. Midday saw the relevance of an afternoon newspaper because people would commute long distances in Bombay. One of the reasons why Midday did not succeed elsewhere is because it did not have that commuting culture. So, everybody was fighting on the morning space when Midday created its own space in the afternoon. It is a daily, but not in the morning. Are you getting my point? Southwest Airline is supposed to be the pioneer in terms of low cost airline. They realized people use airlines only to reach from one place to the other at the shortest time. They do not need food, they need punctuality, they need safety, they need hassle free whatever the check in and check out procedure. So, they only concentrated on this, right. So, there are brands which have used this canvas model beautifully to create themselves, and at the end of the day my presentation should answer very clearly how am I helping him to grow his business, because at the end of the day he is interested in that. All right.